mode.
Hello everyone, welcome to the LiveBlood Online and Neogenesis Systems online training course. This is a short video to show you how to access the online training site and also how to use GoToWebinar. So I'll start with GoToWebinar and then Dr. Ocker will cover the online training site. We'll also be sending you a PDF file on using GoToWebinar, so that will be coming to you tomorrow as well. So, so let's get started. So here we go. The GoToWebinar attendee guide, which is what we'll be sending you tomorrow. First of all, registering for a lesson. The lessons all come through GoToWebinar. So you will receive an invitation email from LiveBlood Online to join the lesson with a registration URL link. So that will be weeks 1, 2, 3 up to week 12. So to attend this lesson you will first need to register using this registration URL link, which looks like this. This is the email that you will receive and it will say which week, and there is the registration URL. So if you click on that and register for the online training course, click the registration URL in the invitation email, and once you've successfully registered it will ask for your email, your name, your surname and your email address. And once you've successfully registered you will immediately receive a confirmation email with information on how to join the lesson when it is time, and that will look like this. Thank you for registering for LiveBlood Online week whatever. And there is another link which you will click to join the webinar or the lesson at the specified time or date. So if it is your first week, then I suggest that you do this 5 or 10 minutes before, just so you familiarize yourself with everything. So when you click on that link there, it will, when it's time for the lesson, click on that URL link in your confirmation email, and everything's fairly automatic from there. So don't share your URL with anyone. This is unique to you and your email address. Everything is fairly automatic from there, as I said, and if you get this message on the right, just choose computer audio. If you're using a desktop computer, you may need to first download the Citrix online launcher file to launch the session or the lesson, and this should happen automatically. If you're joining a webinar lesson by phone or iPad, you can download the GoToMeeting app for Android or iOS and join from your mobile device. So once you've joined, you will get this control panel on your screen. It appears on the right-hand side of your screen. Using the control panel, you can manage your session or your lesson. For optimum sound quality, a headset is recommended, preferably one with a USB for ease of use and good sound. And use the full screen button for optimum viewing of the webinar or the lesson, and that is the 4th button down there. To free up space on your desktop, you can collapse the control panel and use the grab tab to continue to manage your session. There's quite a few options in there. I suggest that you just have a look around and get used to familiarizing yourself with it. So if you have any questions during the lesson, you can enter your questions into the questions panel for us to answer. The questions panel looks like this. Type your question into the questions panel and click send. This is the questions box here. So click on that and you will get the question box here. Type your question into the box and click send. And we'll answer your questions throughout the lesson, or sometimes, depending on time, we may have a question and answer session at the end of the lesson. So after the live lesson is over, we will then send you a recording of the lesson. So you'll receive an email link like this right after the lesson. And this is a link to the lesson recording weeks 1 to 12. So if you click on that link there, that will be taken, you'll be taken to the registration page again, and it looks like the one where you registered for the live webinar. You put in your name, you put in your surname and you put in your email address and you click on register. So register and you'll be taken to the recording, which will look like this. There's your recording and you just click on play, pause, whatever, so you have your recording there. So that's about it really. So you have that there to refer to, and as I say, we'll be sending you a guide as well. So hopefully that will make things a lot easier. A lot of it is automatic, but just so you know, and you know how to put questions when you're actually on the live webinar. So over to you, Dr. Ocker, for how to access the online training site.
Okay, fantastic. Well, the online training site is actually the main resource that attendees will be using. And this is where they'll be able to access the information for the course during the actual course. And we're going to be looking at how to access that information now. So let me just get that on here. Okay, so the online training site is a user site. So you will be receiving an email that would look something like this. That will provide you with your login details, username and password. You can see them over there, as well as a link that you can click on that will take you directly to the site. And to access that information, you basically can really just copy and paste. All right, so this is the landing page. We would click on log on over here to get to the page where you enter your login information. And I'm just going to paste it, Control V. And we're going to the next area to put in the password. All right, and then click log on. Now if you enable this remember me area over here, the details will automatically be filled the next time you go onto the page, so you won't really need to fill in your username and password every time. We do recommend you do that. That'll just make it a lot easier. Then you don't have to look back at that original email. So we clicked on the log on area here. Okay, and this will take us to the next landing page, and you can see some tabs that have opened here. The main area that we're going to be using is this user repository. If we click on this, you'll see a menu opening up on the left-hand side of the screen. All right, and this is really all the folders that are on this online training site, and this is really where you're going to be accessing all the information from. So to actually get to we'll start with getting to the actual training manual, which is under the folder named manual. So we click on manual, and you'll then see the file visible here. Clicking on that file will open the reader, and that will then take you to the training manual. So we're going to have a look at what it looks like. All right, it's just taking a minute to load. You can see it loading there. All right. So you can see there's quite a few pages, 450 pages. It's quite an extensive manual, quite a bit of work to get through. So during the training course, we're going to be going through the course materials in each section of the manual over the 12-week training course. But to help you to navigate the manual, you can actually click on this icon on the left-hand side here. It says toggle sidebar. And if you were to click on the next item there that says show document outline, that'll actually open up an index for you. So this would enable you then to basically go to different parts of the manual. So if you want to, for example, go to, let's have a look at viewing live blood samples. You can click on that and it'll automatically, these are basically bookmarks that will take you to different sections of the manual. So very helpful. just to go through everything if you wanted to, refresh your memory on Rouleau, or if you wanted to read up about it after the week's lesson that we covered, you can simply click on it there. And this is the easiest way to go through the manual. We've also had some requests from attendees that wanted to have an actual physical copy of the manual. So we've actually enabled printing here. So if you wanted to print off specific sections of the manual or the entire manual, you will see a print icon here. Okay, so you can actually click on that and that'll open up the print menu, and you can basically print off or select which pages you want to print and print that off. Now we've had some cases where the user logs in and the print icon is not visible on their screen. And the cause for that we've worked out is actually the type of browser. So we recommend that you actually use either Firefox or Google Chrome. The browsers that we've noticed this problem with is Internet Explorer. So if you encounter this problem and you don't see the print icon, just download either Chrome or Firefox and then log in with the same details, and you should be able to get to this print icon there. All right, so let's go back. If you've gone through that, you will see a little area where you can close the document. It'll take you back to that original screen, and you can go through this and study it. You will see that there are, for example, a folder with various types of dietary recommendations. This is quite a useful resource here. The images folder, you'll see various images here, all grouped according to the type of anomaly. If you find that they're not displaying alphabetically, you can simply click on the name tab at the top here, and it will rearrange these folders alphabetically. So it's a bit easier to find if you're looking for something specific. And going into these, you'll actually see examples of that particular type of anomaly then that you can open up and then look at. And the same goes for the blood anomaly videos here, also quite helpful. So there are videos of actual live blood samples with examples of those anomalies there. There's various other things. There's some questionnaires and reports, and we also have the actual videos for taking and preparing live and dry blood samples and viewing them under the microscope. So that's also there. You can go through that. You will notice there are some folders that don't contain anything. Like for example here, in that case these folders are not actually necessary, and they're not actually part of the course. These are just other folders that are really have some information on them with a different user access. It's more for system administration and so on. All right, so that basically covers what you need to know to access the course materials, and how to get to the manual and how to print it and how to view all the information on the online training site. So I'm going to log off from here. Fantastic. All right, so when attendees sign up, we also send out some posters or wall charts with live and dry blood anomalies on them, and you'll also find a flash drive there as well. Now the flash drive is really just used as a backup. We have all the information that's on the online training site has also been loaded onto the flash drive, and we send the flash drive out. We considered not sending it out in the past because of the online training site, but we decided to keep it just for the attendee here and there who, for whatever reason, are not always able to access the internet. So we then have a flash drive from where they can access the information. Now the flash drive is encrypted, so the information can only really be accessed directly from the flash drive when it's plugged into your computer. So when you insert the flash drive, you should see it appearing as Neogenesis, and if you click on it here, it'll open up a window that shows PC Viewer and Mac Viewer. Now if you have a normal Windows-based PC, you would then obviously use the PC, and if you have an Apple Mac, you would then use the Mac Viewer app here. So I've got a Windows computer, which is going to double click on PC Viewer. All right, and now you can see the folders there. They should look quite familiar. These are the same folders on the online training site. So to access information from here, it's also fairly simple. As long as the flash drive is plugged in, you can double click on manual, for example. Click on that to open it, and it will open. Also just takes a second to load. Okay, never mind these messages. And principle is very similar here as well, where there is a little icon there for bookmarks. Click on that, and it will also open up an index here that you can actually expand on the side here, the various chapters. So let's have a look at live blood anomalies, and there's some more expandable items here, so we can actually have a look at platelets and plasma. Let's have a look at fibrin, for example. You can click on that and it'll immediately take you to that page. So it's very easy to navigate the document this way as well. Alright, so if you finished reading, you can actually close the document over here. We do recommend not to close PC Viewer, because then you'll have to click on the NeoGenesis flash drive link again to open up the window with the PC Viewer. So just click close in this area here. So not PC Viewer itself, but just the document. And then to get back to that menu with the folders, you can just click File Open. And that'll take you back to these folders here where you can have a look at various other bits of information, and that you can go through. Now you will notice that the Word documents that are here, so I'm just going to let's try and minimize this so I can just show you how that works. Alright, so the Word documents on here don't open from within the flash drive itself. So let's have a look at diets. These you would simply need to drag and drop onto your either onto your hard drive under your documents. You can create a folder, or you can just drop them onto your desktop, and then you can open them from there as a normal Word document that you can save and print, whichever the way you like. You can even edit these as well and use your own letterhead and so on here. There are some other files on here that are of course protected. So the if we just go back to the manual, if you were to open the manual in the same way, drag and drop that to the screen, to the desktop, and try to open it from outside of the flash drive, it'll actually give you this error message here. Okay. And what we've also noticed, so with opening the flash drive, of course, do it the way that we recommend here, from within the app as it shows you here, opening it from there. If you click open there, it will open normally. All right. And what we have noticed as well is that the on some computers, the video files that are on the flash drive don't always play. Now this may be due to the user's antivirus software, or perhaps the version of the video player that's installed on their system. Now we've managed to get them working on some computers, but in some cases we've actually not been able to get them to work, and we haven't been able to work on why the videos don't always work. And this is even with going through everything in detail with the developer. And this is also one of the main reasons why we have everything that's on the flash drive available on the online training site. The videos that are loaded on the online training site will all play regardless of your type of computer and the settings on your computer, and you can also download them from there if you like as well. All right, and then in terms of just the reason why the PDF manual is copy protected, there's really only the manual that that has a special encryption that prevents it from being copied and saved onto your desktop. The rest of the files are all, can all be downloaded and saved. But the main reason that we've actually done this is just we've had in the past some practitioners who copied information from the manual and then gave it out to their colleagues. Now, if you look at the online training site and in the manual, we do state that the material shouldn't be copied and distributed. I'm sure that practitioners who did this in the past didn't actually realize that it is a problem, but we do want to prevent unauthorized copying and distribution of the course materials. And unfortunately, it would only take one person to copy the information, and if they hand it out to a few people, the information can become very easily disseminated amongst lots of people. Now, obviously, training people in blood analysis is our business, and this information, if it's freely available, would affect us. But the information is also a registered IP, and we do have copyright on it as well. And what we would also like to point out to practitioners, and what's quite important here, is that there are people who are not really always willing to pay for a formal course, and they will just learn from whatever free information they can come across. And the risk there is that that this is quite bad for the industry, where people start practicing something that they not really have had any formal training in, and this is especially important for something like blood analysis, where it really is quite a specialized technique. So we want to try and discourage this as much as possible. All right, so that brings me to the end of how to access the user site and the information on the flash drive. So it's over to you again, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much for that, Dr. Oka. We hope that that's going to be useful to you. And if you do have any questions, then please drop us an email at info@livebloodonline.com. So that's any questions or comments to info@livebloodonline.com. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for joining the online training course. So it's thank you and goodbye from me, and thank you and goodbye from Dr. Oka.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.